It can happen so easily. You're out with your friends or coworkers, you're putting back a few drinks, a few becomes a few too many. It's time to go, and for a moment, you think of calling for a ride. Nah, you're a good driver. You live nearby, you can make it home okay. What are the odds you'll get pulled over? And even so, what's the worst that could happen? You lose your license, you lose your job, you total your car, you kill someone. It only takes one mistake to change your life, or someone else's, forever. Play it safe and plan ahead to get a ride. Drive sober or get pulled over.
And before we wrap up our staff meeting, let's congratulate Jack Griffin on 4 years of teaching AP Bio.
You must be proud as a peacock, Jack.
Yep, AP Bio on Peacock.
You're on what now?
He's on a peacock.
No, I'm not on a Peacock. A new season of AP Bio is streaming now on Peacock, okay? I'm on my dead mother's couch.
Remind me why you can't attend these meetings in person?
Oh, because they're boring and pointless.
Hey.
Season 4 of AP Bio is streaming now only on Peacock. Are we done here?
How's the show sounding today?
I want to thank whoever does my job for me and I just read it. Whoever that is, thank you.
Thanks to all of the other unsung heroes out there. Now, back to the Kid Craddock Morning Show.
All right, we're 20 minutes away from Love Letters to Kelly, Kid Nation. Our love expert's going to help you out if you have any relationship issues. And it can be any sort of relationship, friendship, family stuff. Love us. We got your back. Write her at loveletterstokelly.com. Now, Justin, speaking of, this boyfriend might write Kelly if he ever finds out. But Justin, you were talking about your T-shirt drawer and you got rid of a bunch of things.
Yeah.
From the text at 800-543-3548. This text message directed towards our boy Justin. It says, Justin, I took all my ex-boyfriend's shirts that I still had and I made an ex-boyfriend blanket.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't stop there, guys.
Oh, that's cute.
She continues with, sometimes I think it's funny when my current boyfriend sleeps with that blanket. Ha 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 ha. He has no idea. Yeah, don't tell him. Please don't tell him.
That's taking trash and turning it into treasure.
I guess.
For her.
Yeah.
It's one of them things.
I don't want to be sleeping under some other dude's T-shirt.
And neither would I. I don't want to smell that guy.
I've seen people do that with their high school shirts from all the games and or their college shirts. They'll turn those into
That's different
blankets.
if they're their own, yeah.
And we were talking about Al walked through a cemetery yesterday with his fiance and asked, have any of us done it? And most of us have. You know, it's actually calming. It's interesting to go look at the headstones. And we got into the topic of some people go out there and clean them, or you want to do a nice thing and clean random headstones that haven't been touched in a while. Lindsay wrote us and said, hey, good morning. There's a girl on TikTok that cleans the graves, and she actually cautioned against trying to go and do this randomly because she actually gets permission. And if you actually use the wrong things, you can damage the headstone. So be careful.
Oh.
So yeah. See, I did not know that. So we got to get permission before cleaning. So if you're trying to do something nice, sometimes you do something nice and then you end up messing it up a little bit. Yeah. Good deeds sometimes turn into unfortunate bad deeds. So that's good to know in case we got people wanting to go clean some stuff. But let's finish that celebrity gossip this morning. Sponsored by the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards credit card. You can earn 3% cash back on online shopping, making the essentials even more rewarding.
All right, so maybe, just maybe, the baby's actually sorry for the things that he said on stage a few weeks ago. If you remember, like 6 weeks ago, he said some pretty terrible things at a music festival about the gay community and people living with HIV/AIDS. And then he defended himself, apologized, deleted the apology, apologized again. It was kind of back and forth. He was getting dropped from all the music festivals, and people just didn't feel like he was being sincere about his apology.
Right.
So the latest on this is DaBaby answered a call from a number of HIV organizations to help him become educated on HIV. So they sent him a letter that said, quote, to call him in instead of calling him out.
Okay.
I like
to have,
that.
Thoughtful conversation about what he said and to really understand it. So last week he met virtually with 10 different groups to discuss HIV and they shared personal stories from people who are living with HIV. And the organizations say that he was genuinely engaged, that he apologized for what he called his inaccurate and hurtful comments about HIV and the impact that it had on the Black and LGBTQ plus communities. So I guess only time will tell, if he really does change the way that the way that he is, or if this was just damage control. I don't know.
He's educating himself. At least he's taking that step.
Yeah, I really like this story because, like, when the story first came out, I was like, he just sounds like he's uneducated about the whole subject. He's all he had to do was like, hey, give a shout out if you're doing a good job, if you're enjoying the show tonight, and all he could just do is like, woo, 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 and then he decides to speak on a subject that he has no idea what he's like talking about, and we're all ready to just cancel him because he's just he's ignorant, he's dumb, and cancel culture can just be so evil and negative, and it sounds more like this is turning. I see a turn from cancel culture to consequence culture, where we help people make up for their bad behavior instead of just getting rid of them as a whole. There's more of a consequence, and how we can better show accountability and allow for growth instead of just trashing them from that very start.
That's what we tell kids, right? We tell kids that there are consequences for your actions. And
I like how he said to call him in instead of calling him out.
Yeah, that was good.
And a lot
like
of times,
you said, Justin, just stick with the basics. All the ladies say, ho!
Yeah, put your hands
up. Throw your hands up. All right, jump. Stick with the basics.
It's just interesting that the people who are angriest and cancel, whatever said or done has nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Yes. It's like, it's so interesting.
Ignorance comes from a lack of knowledge, and sometimes it's happening.
But it's changing, and it's also just changing the perspective. Instead of canceling people, let's bring them to
educate them
and accountability for consequence culture.
Yeah, because one day it's going to be your turn, and you're going to wish people had that kind of compassion.
Right.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, Britney Spears' dad, Jamie, agreed to step down as conservator of her estate. Everybody's like, what? Yay! You're like, wait, read the fine print. Okay. Because there were some stipulations. She's like, I'll do it at the right time. Well, now Jamie has asked for $2 million to leave as compensation for duties like handling media attention, have you seen him speaking to the press? I don't know. Doing his best to keep current with the music business. He's got to go online to, I guess, Billboard.com and see what's the top charts. I don't know. How is he keeping current?
Internet.
He also wants legal fees. Well, Britney's not having it. Her attorney says asking for $2 million on top of the millions already reaped from Ms. Spears' estate, should have said raped, but reaped from Ms. Spears' estate by Mr. Spears and his associates, is a non-starter. And regardless of the past, Mr. Spears and his counselor are now on notice. The status quo is no longer tolerable, and Britney Spears will not be extorted.
Boom.
This is all obviously in his words in the paperwork that was filed yesterday. The attorney also wants Jamie out ASAP. Quote, Britney Spears' life matters. Her well-being matters. Every day matters. There is no basis to wait. Yeah. Why are we dragging this on any longer, Judge? Come on.
Yeah.
But in other news, Britney's ex-husband, Jason Alexander, he was arrested for an alleged security violation Sunday night at a Nashville airport. What? So Britney was married to him infamously for 55 hours in 2004. If you want to hear his account of it, go listen to the Toxic podcast. It's very interesting. But the details of his arrest have not been confirmed by Nashville police, but according to Radar Online, Jason allegedly trespassed into a non-secure area of the TSA and tried to skip the line. Well, we all get frustrated. We all got somewhere to be. Our plane's going to take off if we don't make it. So that might have been the situation, but he just acted on impulse and instead was taken into custody. Charged with a misdemeanor and released on Monday. Records show bail was set at $2,500, due back in court September 24th. On an Instagram Live, Jason called the arrest an inconvenience, saying in part he ended up in handcuffs because of something stupid. But not the first time he's run into trouble. Back in February, he was arrested on a DUI and drug charges, including unlawful use of drug paraphernalia and possession of casual exchange of a controlled substance. What is that, casual exchange?
Casual.
Just sharing? Are you just
passing a puff give?
Yeah.
Jason said he didn't know he signed annulment papers. This is what I'm telling you about that podcast. He said he didn't know he'd signed annulment papers after they got married. He said after Britney's mom found out, they told me if I would sign the contracts, the annulment, they would let me and Britney continue our relationship. And if we felt the same way in 6 months, they would give us a proper marriage. So he said he believed them. And for 30 days, they talked every day. Everything was wonderful. But apparently after that 30 days expired, when the annulment took hold, because his attorney was saying, you can fight this, don't wait. He's like, no, I trust them. They're letting me talk to Britney every day. It's all fine. Day 31, all communication stopped, numbers changed. He got duped. So there you go.
Dang.
Bang.
So Kanye West is being accused of stealing the logo that he's been using on his merch that he sold at the listening parties for Donda.
Donda.
From a black-owned company. So have y'all seen it? Have y'all seen the shirts with the logo?
I have not seen this.
I haven't looked at the merch.
Yeah, so he sold T-shirts with the logo of the Star of David, and then there's a cross in the middle, and they were going for $100. And then it says Donda, and then it had the date of like the listening party. And so the creative director of a company called Infinity G8Ds, named Randy Dawkins, said that he met with Kanye about the logo, but the deal was never worked out. And the Infinity G8D's logo is really similar to what Kanye ended up using. The only difference is that their logo has an infinity symbol, while Kanye's has the cross. And so they met through... Kanye met Randy through his personal chef, and then Kanye called Randy. He said he loved his designs, invited him to the studio in Atlanta in July. Randy was saying that Kanye started to sell his dreams about doing business with him. We ate dinner with him. At the end of the meeting, he told us he was going to keep in contact with us, but then he never did. So Randy reached out to Kanye's people after not hearing from them, but the deal was never made. But then the logo in question was still used on the merch.
Whoa. But the Star of David and the cross have already existed, so...
It's like how they put it together.
I think it's, so...
But he used a cross instead of an infinity sign.
But again, he stole an idea.
And he still, like, met with the people that were using it. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
stole the Star
Randy,
of David.
But Randy has emails with the logos that were sent to Kanye and his people, and he also has tracking numbers, confirmation that Kanye's people received a package with 5 pieces of the clothing. Like, it's just, I think there's a lot there. This wasn't just a coincidence. You met with the people.
They didn't steal the Star of David, Justin. They used it in their logo, and Kanye did something similar to, or actually exactly what they did, except for that one piece. And they met together, and he saw it. You see what
I get it, but I see that Kanye did it differently.
I remember that time my personal chef introduced me to somebody that ended up suing me. Man, that was a bad time.
Hate when that happens.
It was a dark time in my life.
Freaking Benito, bro. Love that man.
Benito.
He meant well, you know. He was just trying to introduce you guys. Sometimes it happens, bro.
Right.
Sometimes it happens. By the way, I got a DM from a Kid Nation member who found out why Kanye did that Donda first track.
Oh, good.
And it actually makes sense now. And it's Marcy wrote us and said it's because it's supposed to represent her Donda's last heartbeats. And then if you watch his actual listening party, it does that. And then at the last one, a dove appears, so she turns into a dove and flies to heaven.
So each time they say Donda, it was her heartbeat.
It was her last two heartbeats.
Yeah,
Donda.
Man, he's told us for years. He's told us for years he was a genius.
I told you, man. My man is.
That's also the intro to the.
You don't know the answer, Sway.
It's also the intro to the album. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but when you're listening and you don't know.
You don't know the meaning behind it unless you're at the listening party and you see the artwork and stuff.
You're
just listening to. I was like, I'm just sitting on my couch. Donda.
That's interesting.
That throws you off a little bit. Interesting, right?
Yep.
All right. Coming up next, Kid Nation, it's time to get our love expert in here. It's time for love letters to Kelly. And Kelly, what do you do when you get involved with a married man, you have an affair, it ends bad, then homeboy hits you up a few years later? And what do? This Kid Nation member needs your help, and we'll get into it next.
Guests of Kid Nation stay at Texican Court by Valencia Hotel Group. Save 10% at any of their boutique hotels when you use the code KIDD at valenciahotelgroup.com. Thanks for listening, Kid Nation.
Whatever you're funny, Peacock's got it exclusively. Bears beats The Office on Peacock. Stream every moment from Dunder Mifflin and explore bonus extras and exclusives. Plus, if you're looking for more classic hits, you can stream every episode of Parks and Recreation, 2.5 Men, and every season of SNL. In the mood for something brand new? Check out Peacock's original comedies, The Amber Ruffin Show, and Saved by the Bell. Whether you're craving a new binge or familiar fave, you can find tons of comedy hits on Peacock. Get started for free at peacocktv.com. Whatever you're funny, Peacock's got it exclusively. Stream classic sitcoms like The Office, Parks and Recreation, and 2.5 Men. Plus, catch Peacock original comedies like AP Bio and Saved by the Bell. For all your exclusive comedy faves, go to peacocktv.com and get started.